Hello, we're answering questions on sexual health. I'm joined by Dr. Catherine Hood. Hello.
Hello.
Catherine, I have a question here from a man who says, my wife has said that she wants us to see a sex therapist. Does this mean she no longer finds me attractive? And if so, how can a sex therapist help? He wants to know.
Okay, well clearly he doesn't quite know what the problem is, and that is the problem.
Yes, and she can't tell him.
She can't tell him. And maybe that's why she's suggesting they go to a therapist. I mean, it can be really, really difficult to talk about sex, and particularly if you're feeling a bit dissatisfied and you've been with your partner for a long time. It actually is harder sometimes to think you need to experiment or to try to get your partner to do things differently to how it's always been done, because the inference is, oh, well, you're not happy. And it may not be quite as simple as that, and it usually isn't. So I think the first thing is that the sex therapist is going to give you space to talk about how you feel with each other, you know, what your sex life is like, what you like about it, what you dislike about it. And having an independent person there can help to mediate between the
without
the
it
two.
Becoming a row and a critical row.
Yeah, without it becoming very, very personal. I mean, obviously it is a personal issue. That's why we all find it so difficult to talk about. But they can help bring the positive side out of it rather than just, you know, getting into an argument.
So you would urge him to go and see it as a good thing?
I would go along with a very open mind and go, just be prepared to be honest. And this is obviously a very, you know, a positive step. And to try and see it in that way. And, you know, a lot of people solve the problems with their sex life by going and having sex with somebody else, which never solves the problem and actually can lead to the breakdown of a marriage.
Time-honoured tradition that nearly always fails.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, and if there, you know, I would say it's great that she's actually, you know, wanting to work at this. If there is a problem there that is, you know, quite a lot of problems are easily solved actually by a therapist.
Can be daunting before you start,
yeah.
But you think ultimately very rewarding.
Yeah, absolutely. And therapists obviously are used to hearing these stories. So you know, they're used to hearing difficulties, hearing issues about sex now, you know, so it's not embarrassing for the therapist, although I can understand how difficult it is for the person going into that room. I mean, the therapist as well as listening, can also suggest a lot of practical, very simple techniques or exercises that can also help with certain sexual difficulties, which can overcome various problems as well. So.
Well, thank you for that advice, Catherine. If you have a similar problem, we hope we might have given you some help, but remember, it's always best to go and see your own doctor for medical advice. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more health questions and answers.